Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Reverend Sylvester Hampton, once again, one man of God unfiltered. Welcome to my channel. It's wonderful to be here with you today. It's a beautiful day in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. It is wonderful. The weather's nice, the birds are singing out there, and it's wonderful to be with you today. Thank you for allowing me to share this time with you. This lesson that I'm about to share with you today is called Oneness with a Man is not a curse, but a blessing. Oneness with a man is not a curse, but a blessing. What we have going on here is that there's an element that's going on now that women have been taught that being with a man has been a curse, and if you're thinking that you're going to be a wife or anything, they equate wifely duties as slavery. So when you talk about being married, these women are teaching other women about don't get married to a man, just use him, get his money, and just take advantage of him. But don't try to fix his dinner and everything. Don't bring men peace. Just use him and don't let him tell you what to do. And that's the wrong advice to give. Most of the time, women keep other women single, and you never ever get any kind of a blessings with that kind of advice. I told you a while ago that the weapons of mass destruction that the enemy has is the television, the telephone, and feminism. Feminism have destroyed the family unit and the God's blueprint, have destroyed them and have destroyed the relationship between the man and the woman. Feminism has. And unfortunately, we have allowed our women to listen to a lot of feminist women. And these feminist women have painted these women in a corner that they can't get out of. That's the reason why I tell you that men, you find your wives at the hands of their fathers, because the fathers are the trainers of the women that are going to be your wives, because the women that are going to be your wives are going to be trained by their fathers. They are the trainers. Don't go messing around with these women that are independent women. Independent women are useless. They are taught to be independent. Those women are not wives. They're masculine and they are independent. They think about themselves. Independent women they lack guidance, structure, and they lack covering by a husband. So the independent women, since they lack accountability also, they are experiencing heart problems and they're experiencing anxieties. They're experiencing the death because they are taking on responsibilities that God never gave them. Because they are taking on responsibilities that only men were supposed to take care of. Men were supposed to handle problems. These independent women are becoming men. They think that they can do just as well or a better job than a man. So what they have become are men themselves. And they want to become, you cannot marry another man. Period. That's the reason why they're not sexy looking. They have no sex appeal whatsoever, because it's just like you're marrying another man. a man with no penis. That's all they are. So there's nothing sexy about marrying an independent woman, because all an independent woman is another man, and they will never ever be a helper to a man, never, because they think they're you. They will never, they can't put on feminist behavior. Okay, they can masquerade for a little while, but after a while, that man that's in them will come out, and they will be trying to put on your penis, okay, and try to take your penis away from you, okay. So the only men that will be attracted to them are 20-cent men that have been raised by their mama, and those are the kind of men that they are attracting. Those kind of men, 20-cent men that are raised by their mamas, and they don't know what a man looks like. So those are the men that those kind of women be attracting to. Okay. Unfortunately, those independent women look at, they think that being married is like you're in jail. They look at a husband as their jailer, and they don't want to have no parts of that, which is really wrong. A husband is a blessing. Remember, I told you that the first step to a blessing is a reverence. Just as we reverence God, a woman has to reverence her husband to get to the blessings, because man has the attributes of God. We handle problems. We love the woman just as God so loved the world, he gave. Man has the same attributes as God because he has the same ways as God, because he was made in the image of God. And God gave him some of his attributes. So we loved our women, we love for the love of our wives and children. We don't want them to want for nothing. So they don't have to use us if they just reverence us. That means respect us. That means that we handle problems. A woman cannot stop somebody from taking stuff from her. She cannot. She's not able to cover herself and protect herself. She cannot. She cannot stop anybody from stealing or taking anything from her. She can't protect herself. That's what a man is designed to do. So any woman that thinks that she can do anything without a man is a liar from the pit of hell. She's delusional. She's lying to herself. And any woman that says that she's happy being single and by herself, she's lying to you. She's a liar. No woman wants to be by themselves, so she's lying. What she's done is you're listening to a woman that's over the hill, that has hit the wall, and she can't find nobody because nobody wants to put up with her junk. She don't know how to get along with anybody. That's the reason why she's by herself. She has messed up her younger years, and she has bought into that delusional thinking and listened to those older women that she can do it all by herself. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Now she's out there by herself and finding out that nobody wants her. She's lost it. She's good for nothing. Good for nothing. That's the truth. And usually when those kind of women start talking about, oh, you don't want to get married because men they're evil, they're this or that. They always talk about the examples that they use are never examples that they know. It's always about a movie, Waiting to Exhale or Color Purple. Now let me talk about Waiting to Exhale and Color Purple. Waiting to Exhale is Terry McMillan, and The Color Purple is Alice Walker. Those two women, you have to understand those two women. You got to understand who you talking to. Alice Walker married a white man, a Jewish man, when in her younger days. She married him, and she got married in Mississippi. Matter of fact, Alice Walker's marriage was the first interracial marriage in the state of Mississippi. Did you know that? In the state of Mississippi, Alice Walker and her husband was the first interracial marriage in the state of Mississippi. He was a civil rights lawyer. Her husband was a Jewish civil rights lawyer. So she married him. Now, Alice Walker was a feminist. She was a feminist. So because she married a white man, she don't have anything good to say about a black man. So all her material is going to be anti-black man because she is going to go against her daddy. Her daddy made sure that she was educated. Sent her to school in New York to get educated, but he worked hard. He was a farmer. He worked hard to get his daughter education, but she turned her back on her daddy and she married a white man, and she was the one to wear the pants in the house. They had a daughter, but because she was a feminist, I would suspect that her husband was a 20-cent man, because Alice Walker was a dominant female. She wore the pants in the house. So naturally, and in her later years, they end up getting divorced, and she ended up getting a gay relationship. So this is the woman that did everything The Color Purple. So naturally, any story that she writes about black people is not going to have any positive black male roles in her stories. So because she can't talk, she's going to talk down about black men because she didn't marry one. She didn't marry one. So in her stories, she cannot write about a good black man because she didn't marry one. So you got to look at her psyche. And these women are flocking to the movies looking, saying, oh, see, I told you we can't marry a mister. That's all black men are, just like mister. Please. That was their movie that they flocked to. And they used that as an example and brushed that as an example to all the black men. Alice Walker, Waiting to Exhale. Here we are. We got a woman that is middle aged, over the hill, hit the wall, and she romantically getting involved with a boy. A boy. She gets a romantic interlude with a boy, and she ends up marrying that boy, taking him to America, and he ends up being gay. A boy that's gay. And he uses her, and she ends up getting a divorce from him, and this is the woman that wrote Waiting to Exhale, and in that movie there was no black positive role models. The only black positive, close to positive male role model in her movie was the gay guy, like she married. That's who we're emulating. That's who we're emulating, women. A woman that can't pick a real man, she picks a gay guy. A woman that's over the hill. And she writes a story about it. Waiting to Exhale. Please. Come on, women. Come on. And anytime we see a movie that talks about the reason why you don't invest in a black man is because he's abusive and he ain't no good. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Do you realize that the black man is the father of human civilization? Do you realize that? Do you realize that everything came out of a black man? Do you realize that? Every living being came out of a black, human being came out of a black man. He was the first. And he was made in God's image. So anytime you saw your father for the first time, you saw the image of God. And anytime a married woman, when she wakes up every day, every time she sees her husband, she sees the image of God. That's how deep it is. So you ask me, is there a blessing in oneness? Yes, there is. There's a blessing in oneness when you got a man. All that crap that you be thinking about Alice Walker and Terry McMillan. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Those women are they're miserable. They're not happy. They're miserable. Because they don't have a man. Any woman those women, those older women that you listen to, they are unhappy because they don't have no covering. It's a lie from the pit of hell. Wife is a duty. It's a duty. Holy matrimony is something that's put together by God. There is no such thing as divorce. There is no such thing as a partnership. It's a holy matrimony. You listen to that crap that you be talking about. It's a partner, and it's no, and your husband is not your friend, and he ain't a clown. He ain't supposed to be entertaining you. What do you bring to the table? You plug into him to get the blessing. Silly. These independent women, don't listen to them because you're going to end up hitting the wall and you're going to end up being as miserable as they are. They are lying from the pit of hell. They're on the wrong side. Don't listen to that with those independent women because those independent women are nothing more than useless women. They are good for nothing. They look at the worst side of society. They look at the worst side of a man. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Those boss chicks. Those boss chicks are independent. They're independent. They have no self-reliance. They're totally in freedom. And they don't have no kind of traditional structure to them. They don't believe in marriage and they don't believe in family. Those boss chicks are the icon. They have the icon of empowerment. They think that they are empowered and they reject male leadership. Male leadership. They will say that they're leaders. That's a lie. They don't. That is a misnomer. That's a oxymoron. Female leadership is an oxymoron. There's no such thing as female leadership. That's a lie. Females ain't supposed to be leading nothing. Nothing. They're not leaders. There's no place in the Bible that shows that there's a female leadership. That's a lie from the pit of hell. They can't lead nothing. God left dominion with the man. So let these boss chicks, let them go where they are. Let them stay where they are. They can't, now they're suffering because they're finding out they can't protect themselves. They can't stop anyone from taking stuff from them. They need protection. And the only way they can find protection is through a man. They don't have any covering. They can't train. They're the ones that have raised our children, and that's the reason why there's so much crime in our neighborhoods, because of their so-called leadership in the household. They've raised these no good children because they were the head of households. They can't control the children because the children never belong to them. They can't control the children. They let the children grow up on their own with no kind of leadership, no kind of training whatsoever. These women are useless without a man. Without a man's guidance and without a man's standards, they are useless. They have to be plugged in to a man before they can open up their eyes and get guidance. Without that man leadership, they are good for nothing. They're just like a boat in the middle of the sea, rudderless. They have no guidance, no direction, with no purpose. They're in a boat in the middle of the ocean, and the ocean are just making them to and fro. They're nowhere. They're going nowhere because the water is just drifting them along. They ain't got no kind of direction. They can't go anywhere. They're just drifting along. That's the way they are. They have no direction, no purpose without that man. And Satan is poisoning their minds into thinking that they are going somewhere, that they can get somewhere without a man, and they can't. After they've hit the wall, and after, let me tell you something. The older the woman, there's an expiration on a woman. There's an expiration on a woman's goodness. She expires, there's an expiration. After a certain age, she becomes invisible. She becomes invisible. The older she gets, the more invisible she gets. That's the reason why men don't hit on men anymore. Because she's not seen by men anymore. That's the reason why she has to use her daughter to get attention. That's the reason why she's messing around with her daughter's boyfriend, because that's the only boyfriend that she can get. Male role, the male attention. If she uses her daughter and sleep with her daughter's boyfriend, because that's the closest male that even says hello to her. It's tragic. Tragic. That's the reality of it. Older women. These boss chicks are useless because they've had an opportunity to marry a decent fella, but those guys that was hitting on her when she was younger, she didn't want to have nothing to do with. Because she's listening to other folk saying, "Oh, you can do much better," or girl, don't worry, don't get bogged down with a husband. He's gonna make you a slave." And she don't know how to cook. She don't know how to keep a house. She said, just pay attention to your career. Career. Most of those women who's talking about careers that got a house. That's ridiculous. They ain't got no career. That's a job. It's a job. So, I want you to know that it is a reason why God made man in his image. There is a reason why men are made and designed to take care. We are this. Men is this. We handle problems. We take care. We're protectors, and we are structured so that we guide you. We love, protect, cover, and you have to be plugged into us through reverence. We seek peace in our household. That's what we want. That's what we look for. Peace and cooperation from our woman. Mind you, a woman, she has to find that one man that she can cooperate with and plug into. She has to find that one man to cooperate and plug into. One man. That's the rule. She gets one person. The rule about one partner goes to the woman, not the man. That's a lie from the pit of hell. What Satan wants you to believe is that the man has the same standards, that he can only have one person. But when God says be fruitful and multiply, you can't be fruitful and multiply with just one person. But what God says is that when a man has more than one, he has to protect and be responsible for his territory. Ain't nowhere in the Bible that man's been cursed for having more than one wife. Nowhere. But a woman's been cursed for having one relationship. One man. So let's get it together here. Men, you're all that in a bag of chips if you know who you belong to and whose image you are. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at the image of God, because he made you in his image. Let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. I didn't say that you were a God. I said that you're in his image. And he put all the good things in you. God don't make junk. He gave you everything you need to be a blessing. Amen. Amen. And these women that are going around thinking about they need to humble themselves. Humility goes a long way. You have to admit when you're wrong. And baby, you've been wrong for a long time. That feminism crap ain't gonna get you nowhere. Amen. And you need to know that you know that man that's sitting right across from you is your blessing. You need to plug into that man. That one man that God had blessed you with, he is your blessing. And he's your ride or die. You got to become his ride or die. And he ain't your friend. He ain't your clown. He's not supposed to entertain you. Amen. And he don't have to try to go down to understand you. You come up to understand him. He don't come down to your standards. You go up to his. So let's get this straight. You go up to his standards. He never comes down off his throne. He don't alter himself to suit you. Let's get this straight. He don't alter himself to suit you. You alter yourself to go up to his standards. You ain't got no standards. Period. But you would have known that if you paid attention to your daddy. Because he's the trainer. He trained you to be a wife. Don't listen to your mama. You listen to your daddy. He will train you to be a wife, and he will train you and he will make sure that he picked the right person for you, for your husband. Amen. That's the chain of command, and that's God's blueprint. Let's get this straight. So you have to be a oneness with that man. A oneness. There's no, you are just 25 cents, a quarter to that man that's $1. You will never, ever be whole without the man. You have to plug into that man to become a whole. You just a quarter. That's all you are. A helpmeet. That's all you were made to be. Period. A helper to that man that got his mission from God. Period. Let's get it straight. Don't listen to what Satan got you talking about. You all of that in a bag of chips. You're nothing without the man. Nothing. You're a helper. That's what you're designed to do. And that's your purpose. Your purpose is man. Without a man, you have no purpose. Your purpose ain't got you ain't got no business going out here talking about a career, education. We don't care about that. That's not impressive to us. It's not impressive to us. Amen. Let's get this straight. Let's get it together. I want you to know that oneness with the man is the only way that you're going to get out of this thing. Oneness with the man. Oneness with a man is not a curse, but a blessing. Oneness with a man is not a curse, but a blessing. Amen. I want you to know that I love you. Nothing you can do about that. I'm going to continue to be on the battlefield fighting for the souls of our family. And I want you to know that I'm going to continue to be in the service of God. And I'm truly feel that I'm blessed, because I do know that I do know whose image I've been created in, and I love you. Nothing you could do about that. Until the next time, this is Reverend Sylvester Hampton, once again, one man of God, unfiltered. Bye-bye.